Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today where I'm going to be talking about sidearms again, because I quite like the idea of sidearms, and since the last video I did on sidearms, people have been messaging me asking me questions about what sidearms they should get, what ones I would recommend, what ones I run, and just like a plethora of different sidearm related questions. So we're going to talk about one of them today, and that one is, what should I get as my first sidearm? Or what sidearm should I buy? Or what should my first gun be? And I'm here to tell you that if you're looking to start Airsoft and you haven't bought a gun yet and you want to buy a gun, do not buy a pistol as your first gun, because that's just a terrible idea. I've seen so many kids running around Airsoft sites with only a pistol and not really doing that well and not really looking like they're having much fun. Sure, they're kind of fun because the slide moves, and when you shoot it kind of feels like it's a real gun to an extent, because when you fire it goes pew, 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 pew. And that is fun, that is cool. But in terms of having the best ultimate M4 best ultimate airsoft experience, so I just kind of like did a little slip there, I'd recommend you get an M4 because you can do so much more with them. So for now anyway though, we're talking about pistols, and let's just pretend first of all that you're not new to airsoft. You've been airsofting for a while, because if you are new to airsoft, then don't buy a pistol. You don't need one. You do not need a pistol. Just buy an M4 as your first gun. But if you do want to buy a pistol, people have been asking me recently, because I've done videos on both of these pistols, which one you should get between a Glock and an AAP01. Taking a very slight step backwards, by the way, when people ask me what pistol to buy, I'll always recommend something that is either full auto or has the option to go full auto, because if it gives you more options in the way that you play. Because as fun as it is to be able to go, you know, like pop, 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 pop with people, it's also handy to be in a situation where you can just go with people as well. And also sometimes people need more than one hit in order to be able to feel like they've been hit. So being able to go is a really good option, and that's something which I'd recommend. So looking into the pistols, people ask me, what should I get, a G18C or an AAP01? And I happen to have both. Here is my G18C here. It's the Tokyo Marui one. It has been updated and you know, it's got a few kind of like upgrades in there. So you can see, first of all, I have got a upgrade aluminium outer barrel on there. And I also have got a longer inner barrel in there too, which you see sticking out the end there, which does improve my performance. I've also got inside here a maple leaf Autobot, I think it's a 50-degree hop rubber. I've also got an I key in there as well to give me better accuracy and whatnot. And when I use this, generally I'll use 3 2-gram BBs. However, I would like to use 4 6s, so that's some testing which I do need to do. And I'm looking forward to that because I like using heavy balls. Yeah, so that's the G18C. It was the first pistol that I got, and I love it because it's so easy if you want to swap between, you know, semi-auto, which is there, and full auto there. It's just a flick of the thumb, so you can draw it, and if you're like, oh my god, there's tons of bitches, you can then just go pata and then spray them all down, and then you can flick it back up to semi to get those shots off. So, G18C. Next up on the roster of guns to look at, and the final gun to look at, is the AAP01. And as you can see, my one, it looks a little bit more like a Transformer because it's got more accessories and things on there. And that's potentially one of the benefits of the AAP, is that there's more options for you to set up your gun and run your gun. If you want to run it more like an SMG, then you can do. If you want to run it more like a rifle, then you can do. And I'm trying to do my one somewhere in between. So with my AAP, you can see I've got the stock on the back there, which is all lovely. I've got a red dot sight on the rail there, which is all lovely. I've got my camera on there, which doesn't really need to be, but it will be because I plan to run this as a primary. I've got a long old suppressor, which is looking after the extended inner barrel, which comes out to about here. And I've also got this 3D printed little mini grip handguard Picatinny rail thing, which I designed and printed, which is available on the website. Check it out if you want to. In terms of upgrades, I've done the same thing to this as I have done to the Glock. I've got a extended inner barrel in there, although this one is a lot longer than the one in the Glock. This one's got a 220 mil, I think, 220 mil in a barrel. It's got a 50 or 60-degree hop rubber. I can't remember exactly which one. And it's also got a H key. I think this was a H key instead of an I key. A H key to make it more accurate, which it definitely does that. And at the minute with this one here, pretty much every single shot I can hit a head-sized target about 30 meters away. And for me, I'm super happy with that, because I kind of imagine if I am using this as a sidearm, which I'll be able to do because all I need to do is fold that in there, and it's still pretty much the same length as my Mark 23, which is great. Or I think it's a little bit shorter actually. I think the suppressor's a bit longer than the Mark 23. But either way, it's still manageable as a sidearm type pistol type riff, which is really nice. And if I do want to run it as a primary, I can, you know, just kind of like run it like this as normal, and I can shoot people quite far away. I don't know what the max range of this is yet, because I've not been able to take it to a field and use a, you know, like a shooting range type thing. At the minute in the garden, I only have up to about 30 meters worth of range that's within the walls. I can go further, but I don't really want to shoot out of my garden, because none of us should do that, because we should be responsible with our airsoft guns. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how far I can shoot with this. It uses green gas magazines. I think they're 28 round Glock ones, like this little one here. You can use drum mags in it, which I do fully intend to at some point in the future. And yeah, it's really fun. I use .46 BBs in this one already, so that's why I expect 4.6 to be okay with this one. However, because this does have a much shorter inner barrel, it goes to about here. Look, there you go. So that's the difference in kind of size. This one will be less powerful than the AAP, but you know, that's not kind of too bad. It should be okay. So which would I recommend between the AAP and the Glock? And I feel like if you're looking at this already, you can kind of tell what my decision is going to be. It's going to be the Glock. No, it's not. It's the AAP. Purely because I feel like there's more versatility with the AAP. There's less moving parts. Like, you've just got like the bit at the back which does your movement. So because of that, I feel like it's going to be a little bit quieter than the Glock for me when I run my operations. It is all made of plastic, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked it to have been a bit more metally. However, now I've kind of like bolted other stuff to it. It does make it feel a bit more stronger and sturdier and secure, which is nice. Like, the Glock it's an iconic gun, and don't get me wrong, it feels super nice, and you know, it's compact, it's nice and small, and that's good. Like, it is a little bit smaller than the AAP, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it is a little bit smaller than the AAP overall. So if size is like a really big factor for you, then the TMG18C is a really good option. You know, it's performant, it's got a nice rate of fire, it's easy to upgrade it if you want to and whatnot. It's got a nice solid, like, got a metal hop unit in there as well, similar to the AAP01. So in terms of performance, both of these guns are really like quite on par. But there is a difference between these guns, which is like a big factor, and that is how the outer barrel kind of like works, and how the whole build kind of works. So you can see with the AAP01, this is the moving part here that we have. So this little rear bit is essentially the slide. If I lock that back, nothing in this section here moves. All of this is solidly locked in place, and the benefit of that is that it's going to make it more consistent, because there's nothing really moving in there. It's all locked down, not moving. It's not going to go anywhere, which is going to make you more accurate and consistent over range. Whereas with the Glock, with the TMG18C, you can see if I pull the slide back, let's go mega zoom for this. If I pull the slide back, you can see the outer barrel drops down. It drops down, and because of that, there's a fair bit of movement that happens. And if I do that, you can see this all wiggly there. It only really matters if there's wiggling here. And you can see there is wiggle and play in here. But there has to be, because the outer barrel drops down. And then you see all that kind of movement. There has to be. There's never going to be a point where the outer barrel is locked in place. And if there's movement with the outer barrel, which also houses the hop unit and the inner barrel, that means there's going to be movement with the inner barrel when you're kind of like running around using it and firing. And it may not reset it to the exact same place, which is going to make it more likely that you're going to be inaccurate with your shots. And because I'm intending now to use this at kind of range, or have my pistol be useful or be used, you know, both as a sidearm and potentially as a primary, as like an SMG, or even there's potential for this to be DMR, because like, and you'll see in upcoming videos that is legit like the case, which I'm very excited about. This just has much more versatility. Like, if I want to run it solely as a pistol, I can do. I can take the front off, I can put the old inner barrel back in, I can take the stock off, and boom, I've got a nice compact pistol if I want to. But I actually quite like the idea of being able to, you know, if I need to drop down, especially when I'm running my sniper, if I need to drop down to my sidearm because somebody's like 20 meters away, something like that, the fact that I can guarantee I will get a headshot using this is something which, you know, is beautiful to me. And it's not because of getting a headshot. That's not what I mean. So before you write that in the comments, stop. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that I'm able to hit a target that is the size of a head at 30 meters away consistently. So that means if somebody's walking along, hitting somewhere else in their body is going to be just as easy. And that's what I mean, okay? So, no, I'm not being like, I need a gun to do headshot. No, I'm not saying that, so stop typing that. I'm saying is I can if I wanted to. So if somebody was like in a window that was the size of an A4 piece of paper at 30 meters away, then I can plink through it. And that is what I want my rifts to be able to do. And that's what this can do. And to be fair, this is accurate as well. It's just not as accurate as the AAPO1. And I put that down to having a shorter inner barrel and also the movement of the outer barrel and hop unit kind of combo. It makes it a bit inconsistent. I have tried a longer inner barrel in this, and I also bought one of the metal kind of like adapters there, so then you can then mount a suppressor on the end of it. And I had the inner barrel go through that into the suppressor, and it was all kind of like, it had another point of contact there, but still I think because there's wiggling in the back end, like when this would then sit down, you can see it kind of like points up more. I think that was causing kind of like issues with that, so that's why I reverted back to this kind of setup. So for close quarters stuff, you know, if you need to get out and like pop some people off, this is great. But for something which will give you more versatility and is a bit more jack of all trades and gives you more room to update it, alter it, and kind of run it differently, I feel like you can't go wrong with the AAPO1, and I cannot wait to get this out in the field and start smashing some plebs with it. It's going to be really, really fun. The only difficult thing is actually trying to get a hold of one because they're really hard to. This is only £80 as well, by the way, for the gun. The stock was 40, the site was 28. I printed this, but you can get these on the website for 20. Suppressor, I think, was about 10, 15 as well. So all in all, for everything that you see here, is probably about the same price as this gun. So, you know, all in all, great option, that one there. Yeah, great option. This red dot sight, by the way, I'll probably do a video on it, but it's £28 on Amazon. It's the cheapest red dot I could find that I was kind of like happy with, and all my days, it's sick. So yeah, video to come on that as well in the future too. And that's it for this video. So thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for coming here today and enjoying the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because subscribing is great and I appreciate it. I love you very much. Thank you very much. Big shout out to all my lovely Patreons as well. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate all of you and just everyone in general for like watching and spending some time with me today. Also, big shout out to the StayFreshShoe Airsoft community Discord. Love you guys. You guys are just awesome. There's so many people in there chatting about stuff all the time. And yeah, if you need some help or just want to make some friends, check out the link in the description below. Join the Discord, and we'll see you over there for some fun shenanigans and fun. Yeah. So until next time, thank you very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.